Alright folks, so I've been working on this head here. This is the passenger side head, and trying to get everything cleaned up really good. And I just took a shot back and got all up in these ports and pulling passages and all that good stuff. That's all I do. Just take a shot back and getting all these bolt holes and up in the ports and everything. And you ain't got to worry if you get on right up against your valve seats, because this is plastic. You're not going to mess that up. So you're not going to hurt the valve seats or anything like that. But you want to get up in this thing really good. And let me get a light there and get her cleaned up. I got all the valves lapped in. And I got the issue with the exhaust valve on number 8 cylinder. I got that replaced. Rock Auto sent me another one in the mail, and I think one of the workers up there must just picked the wrong valve out in a hurry or something like that. But anyway, they corrected it. They sent me a 194 intake valve, and I ordered a exhaust valve, which was for this one right here. But the only reason I did that because the top of the valve stem, when the actual valve was a little bit, I guess you'd say, chipped. But anyway, but I got it, and it's the right diameter and everything, and it fits good, and I already done tried it out. But I got all the valves lapped in. I got all the valve springs right here. There's the part number for them, ERV 880. So that's all the valve springs. It's 4 springs in each box. Had to order 4 boxes. I guess you can't get valve springs individually anymore. But I got this head pretty cleaned up. Alright, so I got the head pretty cleaned up, and got it painted Chevy orange here. A lot different than what that was. That's actually Chevy orange red. This is Chevy orange. It looks, the color looks way off than it does in person. I'm not sure why. Looks like it's way worse here. Maybe we can get some better light or something. But anyway, that's what we got here, and trying to get this head all cleaned up. I got it all cleaned up down in here. I got a little overspray on the valve guides, but I'll take a little brake parts cleaner and put it on a rag, and we'll wipe all the valve guides off, and we'll go through here and wipe all the overspray off. But it ain't gonna hurt none. Bad part about it, spending this time cleaning the head up and get it all nice and painted up, as you can see, and it don't last. It really don't. But the best way to paint the engine block is go to Uncle Tony's Garage in DD Speed Shop, and you can buy a good, I believe it's a ceramic paint, and you just paint it like a brush, and it'll last a long time, very long time. Won't chip off and all that crazy stuff. And there's actually one place out there, I think it's Eastwood, they make a brushable exhaust manifold paint, because anything like exhaust manifolds and headers and all, it's hard to keep it painted. It burns right off. I mean, it just, boom like that, it'll burn off in no time. But I'm not sure why this thing looks, the color looks off, but it's really not. It's actually a lot brighter in person here. But it's not perfect, but I think it'll be pretty good. Like I said, I got all the valve seats lapped in, got all the ports cleaned out. So we can turn the light on here. Yeah, let's show the color better. There we go. Okay, now the color's kind of showing up a little better. I think we just got some poor lighting. Anyway, I came in here and relapped all the valves, and all the seats look really nice. I think we're going to be okay. But yeah, they look really nice. They look like they're pretty true for the most part. Are they perfect? No. But I think they'll work. Still got a little bit of carbon in the combustion chamber. Got a little bit right in here on the edges here of all of them, but I mean, I got them as clean as I can get them. It ain't 100%, but I think it'll do. And these do have hardened seats, so you ain't got to worry about unleaded fuel or any of that. Makes it nice. But these are 416 heads. There's a 1.6 right here upside down. But these are lightweight heads, as you can see. They're not straight across like the old ones. But that's what we got here. That's what we got. I'm getting ready to take some brake parts cleaner and spray through all these guides here and make sure it is absolutely no valve grinding compound or anything like that. And you're gonna go in here and get these bad boys installed and be done with it, because we're gonna get ready and put this head back together here soon. Yeah, that color looks a lot better. Here's the valve locking compound I used. If I can find it here. I went with a course. There it is. So we went first with the course. So here's a course valve guide. Not valve guide. That's a course grade valve seat grind material for relapping the valves. Went with that first, and then I come in here with this next with a fine one, and run that one, and that took care of it. And I used my drill to lap them in. You can hook it on the end of the valve stem and put the drill on the slowest mode as possible. That's what you want. You don't want to go you know, like that. You'll make the seat get out of round. I just went very, very slow. Like when I took the drill here, I just went like about like that, about that speed right there. Maybe just a shade slower. Anyway, y'all got the picture. You don't want to be like this. Go slow. Let the valve grinding compound there, let it work for you. Don't sit there and go because you'll make the seat out of round, and you don't want to take the hardness out of these exhaust seats. Because if you do that with today's gas, these seats will literally, the valves will literally hammer them into the head. That's not a myth. It is not. You need hardened seats for unleaded gas today. You got to have hardened seats. But all the guides in this head are pretty good. We got one little sloppy one, but I think it's, you know, it'll be good enough for now. It's not like really horrible, but I think once you put a little assembly lead on here, and this is what I used to, just something kind of inexpensive here. Seemed like you put a little bit of that on there, kind of tighten the valve up a little bit. But when you put it in dry, had a little bit of side play in it, but you don't want your valve guides to be worn out, because then your valve won't sit true to your seat, and then you'll lose compression and it won't run right. So you gotta have that true, and then you gotta, if you look at these seats, I mean, I didn't take off hardly nothing. I just come in here and just barely cleaned them up. And when you lapping the valves in, I spun the drill both ways, both forward and reverse. And then at the same time, you want to lift the valve up, you know, kind of opening and closing the valve basically. But do it very slow on the drill. Do it very slow, because you don't want to take out a bunch of material. Now, I'm not no machinist or nothing, but you know, you want these seats to be nice and round. That's what you want here. get this thing to clear up here. But you want these seats to be nice and round. You don't want it to be, the seat to be real wide on this side and this side look narrow. If we come over here, you know, it's pretty, see the width of this seat where it's gray is where I ground it. That's where the valve is going to hit this seat. And it'll help it seal up nice and tight here. Hopefully with them new valve springs, it'll help this motor have a little more compression. I mean, it won't be like, you know, it's a brand new motor / rebuilt motor. It won't be really a true rebuild, but this will help it. It'll definitely run a lot better than what it did, for sure. But see how the width of this seat right in here, from the inside of this seat to the outside, you want all that to be the same width all the way around. It's very important. And that's on all of them, the exhaust and the intake. Let's get that to focus here. So you want all that around there to be the same width, because you don't want it to be narrow on one side and wide on another. That'll tell you too, what happens is your guides wear out, and as they wear, your valve does not seat true to this seat here, and it'll actually lose compression because of that. It'll blow compression past the valve, and that's not good. Start losing power. But I just barely touched them up. Didn't want to do anything here. You know, I'm not a machinist or nothing. I'm just a shade tree guy. I'm just a, you know, backyard type of guy here. And we took off all these, cleaned up really good. I didn't want to take off no more. I just probably not even 20-30 seconds, and that was it. And I quit. Got just a little bit of spot right in there, but you can't really feel it with your finger or your nail. And I think really realistically a true valve job, you know, going to a machine shop, they would just come in here and cut all 3 angles again. That would get rid of all that. But you know, it's not pitted or nothing. That's actually, looks like almost kind of stains in the seat, maybe a rust stain or something, but it's not pitted. You don't want pits in your valve seats either. You do not want that. And this will tell you too, when you clean these seats up like that, just hitting them like that, if you see any cracks or anything, you'll notice it quick. And then if you do, it's pretty much garbage then. But you got really focus right in this section here, because it's not a lot of material there. And it actually is coolant that gets up in behind that there, that helps cool these valves off. And it actually cools your spark plugs off too, because the coolant flows to there and helps cool them off. That way it helps it run a little better. But I just barely touched these seats up. And we're going to throw this thing back together, and we're going to let it ride. And always when you install your valves here, and you put them up in that guide, you make sure and use assembly lube. And I've got new valve stem seals, the umbrella seals right here. Do not install these dry. Make sure you put some assembly lube inside this valve stem. Got to do that, because you do not want to install them dry. Otherwise, you just, you know, wasting your time. But not perfect, but I think they'll do. And they look pretty good, you know. But anyway, there's Max. Hey, Max. Alright, see y'all later.